Hello, Dave Kenworthy here, 16th of the 11th, 2022. And today we're going to prove that the Egyptians knew how to predict eclipses and that they knew the Saros period. And the person that's already deciphered this is this fellow here called Andis Cowlins. And if we come down to the Turin Papyrus, line 6, gives the Saros cycle of eclipses, which is 6585.32 days, 18 years and 15.32 days. And this is the text, the Egyptian text that he's translated to get to the Saros. He's also got the Metonic cycle here. And he's using base 100 up here, and he's got 330 there. Right. So that's to the Egyptian text. And I've been working with Milo Gardner, and Milo is telling me that I've got to produce my work in the format that the Egyptians used. And he's asking me for the impossible. I can't do it. But the best I can do on this video is that I can show in this column here that everything that I'm using when I'm using decimals can be fractionalized. And I'm sure that it can be converted into the format that Milo has identified in his papers. But I haven't got the time or the inclination to do it. It's just too difficult. But we do know that they knew the Saros cycle, and that's proved to the text, and I've just given the evidence for that. And what this paper is looking at is the astronomical significance of the Egyptian Square Royal Cubit using the Acre. Now, there's a lot in that. And what this video will prove is that the Square Royal Cubit is 14.4 lunations of 29.53125 day Synodic Months in straight line inches and square measure acres, proving the Egyptians knew the Saros. And this also includes the impossible root 3 proof. And it's advertising the academic significance of historical metrology, currently ignored, R.E. Alexander Thom, Algernon Berriman, John Michel, Roland Boucher, and many, many other, Neil Sivertson, Jim Wakefield. This is based almost entirely on Jim Wakefield's work and Jim's thinking that he's translated to me over the last few years. So, yesterday we looked at this Eye of Horus meter, which is 40 inches multiplied by 63 divided by 64, 39.375 inches. That's a Berriman meter in his book, Historical Metrology. And the next meter in Berriman's book is 100 multiplied by 99 over 100, which is 39.6. And finally, the really complex one is 40 multiplied by 275562 divided by 280000. And the significance of that cannot be underestimated. And it's giving this Berriman meter, the other Berriman meter, of 39.366. And what Jim has worked out, and I've followed him on this, is that these Sumerian measures can also be used as acres. So 13.122 inches can also be represented using acres. Now, these three units divided by, these 4 units here are these 4 divided by 3. And very quickly I'm going to go through these proofs. So let me just go down to the bottom, and this is the outcomes of what I've been doing here. The modern meter does not fit within this template. Straight line measure produces the lunation period based on the Berriman meter. Square measure produces the lunation based on the Berriman Sumerian foot, as 1 inch represents 1 square acre in the base. The Great Giza Pyramid side is produced as the square root Great Giza Pyramid base in square inches. That sounds a bit difficult, but you get the Giza base in square inches, take the square root of it, it gives you the base side. The base side divided by 5 to 8 or tends to root 3 in this model that I'm going to show you. And when there are 13.333 recurring acres in the GP base, we get root 3. The base side divided by 5 to 8 or then squared produces 1/10 of a lunation. 223 lunations produce the Saros using the Square Royal Cubit. The Square Royal Cubit is produced using the Eye of Horus meter identified by Berriman. 13.3 acres, the base 100 measure aligning with the 40-inch meter produces root 3 exactly in the analysis. The Lexiline cipher, which is what I've just shown you, proves the Saros to the Turin papyrus. Root 2 is within the design of the Eye of Horus Square Royal Cubit. Now that's on another one of my videos. I'm not going through that now. The Square Royal Cubit is 14.4 lunations of 29.53125 Synodic Months in straight line and square measure. This is 14.4 times 29.53125 from Jim Wakefield. Multiply that out, it gets 425.25, and there's the actual calculation. That times that gives 425. See, D49 times E49 gives that. So that's what's being proved. And this is the model. We've got the Sumerian foot translated into acres in this model. And then once you've got an acre in the base of the Giza pyramid, you multiply it by 1.44 and then by 43560 to get square inches. That's there. Then you divide, then you take the square root, as I've already said, and then you divide by 440 to get the cubit and square the cubit, and you get this column producing the Egyptian Square Royal Cubit, 425.25. These are all valid square cubits, but they're not producing the analysis that gives the Saros. It's only this column that produces the Saros, and there it is. So to get down here, we divide the side of the Giza pyramid by 5,280, which is a mile, except that we're working in inches. So we get 1.718269478 there, and we square that, and we get 1/10 of a lunation. So we multiply by 10 to get the lunation, 223 to get the number of lunations in the Saros, and then that's the Saros. We're just below the Saros there. We're smack bang on the Saros there. We've gone past now and way past using the base 100. But this is root 3 approximate.